Hi, everyone. Welcome to all ERC Devs meeting number 7, the 7th session. Today is July 27th, 2023, Thursday, UTC 1500. We're very happy to have a few people, not many, but a few people to come together and participate in today's session. And if you couldn't make it, we hope that our rotating schedule could help and make it easier for you to attend. Next one would be an Asian Pacific friendly time zone. So today with us is Ko Fujimura and Tiao from EPS Fan. And hopefully we will discuss how to improve all ERC Dev Meeting. I want to share my all role-based access control ERCs for people's feedback. And also, if you have other things you want to share to get feedback, we'd love to as well. We'd love to see them. And so, Cole and Tiao, if you could, I think the first topic I want to put down is actually this is our seventh, this is also our sixth all ERC devs. And we like to kind of get feedback on how to improve them. The main goal is for us to create a regular meeting and a place so that authors and the app builders could come together and share feedback and do peer reviews for their ERCs. And hopefully we can be as inclusive as possible. So we choose rotating time zones. What's your feedback so far? Do you have any idea how we can improve it?
I think this meeting is very helpful for many EIP authors. And today, you just noticed the meeting, the topic of the meeting within 24 years ago. So time is very short notice. So I think if you noticed more earlier, many people will join and we will make active discussions. So please schedule feature meeting earlier. That is one point. I think you are very, very busy, so it's difficult to arrange. However, please support that way. Thank you.
Yeah, I hear your feedback. I think it's a very helpful meeting, and it would be even better if we can publish the meeting agenda earlier so that other people can participate. I think that's a great idea. Maybe we can, in the future, impose a time where we will expect the agenda be published, and then people can participate and get feedback. What about content? Do you have any suggestion in content? And also, Tiao, if you want to, feel free. I know that you said that the microphone is not set up. So if you want to, you can also type in the chat in your feedback if your microphone doesn't work. So Cole, do you have any feedback on the content-wise? We have been running it. We added a bunch of different sections to share and to kind of do ERC feedback. And sometimes we have demos. What do you think about them? What do we do too much? What do we do too little? What do you want to see more and less?
Okay. The demo session is very interesting for me. So please continue to arrange that. You selected the interesting topic, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And let me see. Probably topic should be more focused on each meetings. Today, access control is one focused, but I'm not sure focused or general wide range of topic, which better is very difficult. I'm not sure.
I see. I think what you're referring to is that you want to see that topic. Maybe it would be helpful for each session to have a focus topic, so that the attendees have an expectation and can chat with people who share similar background. Is that a good understanding?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, because you join apparently. I think it seems like you indicate your interest is because the role-based ERCs to be reviewed. So it's definitely relevant to the token TCTC that you propose.
Yes.
In that case, you join. But in general, we have previously have different topics to discuss, which makes it a little bit scattered, right?
Right.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Maybe we can start to come up with areas that people work together. And for example, like access control or authentication is one of the area, and people can generally have a topic and they can bring their ERCs or ERCs they are having an eye on and give feedback or add it together. Yeah,
Thanks.
cool. That's very helpful. So that's a general thing, and then I also love to hear if there's other feedback. For me, if I were to think out loud, I think we generally did well if we could reach out to authors of interest to share and present beforehand. I realize that at least until now, if we don't proactively reach out to authors, people didn't know the existence of this meeting because we only have 6 one yet. It's just get started. We need to be more proactive. And on the other hand, like you said, having a focus topic and bring on people to discuss on that same topic could help as well. There's a trade-off we have to make between choosing a more specific topic, which means people can be more focused and more interested, but we have much less people who work on that specific space versus a more general focus where much more authors can join or much more builders can join, but it can be still a little bit too general. So we have to make the right trade-off there. Currently, I estimate there's only about, I think, 30 to 50 active ERC authors who are like at the moment editing or creating ERCs. So it's not a huge one, but down the road, hopefully we can build our community and have more people from different areas to come together, because I see this not only useful to authors, but hopefully also be useful for the app builders. And that would be a much larger audience. And their feedback is also essential to authors, so they can get adoption, so they can make all the ERCs useful. So that's a little bit of thinking from my side. With that, I think yeah, feel free to share if you want to, but other than that, I think we will be moving on to the sharing that I plan to share. By the way, Cole, do you have any agenda items you wanna put on? Do you wanna share something about TCTC? I might have missed some of your emails.
No, I uh, I send a pull request to the editor. So probably next office editor office meeting will be clear about my draft. I'm not sure the exact process. I'm newcomer of this community, so please advise how to proceed.
I see. Sure. I think we can discuss that, and then I can try to help you understand the process better. And so yeah, we can do that. For now, okay. In that case, let me briefly present ERC 5982 and ask for feedback, and then we can go to get a better understanding of the ERC, the TCTC and PR, your pull request. How's that?
Sure. Okay.
Cool.
Please go ahead.
Yeah. So the ERC 5982 is a role-based access control interface, and currently it's in review. And it has been reviewed for a little while. So I intend to kind of move it further. So in general, the goal is that we need to standardize role-based access control, which is we already have ownable before, and ownable is only having one simple rule, which is whether certain people is owner or not. So role, however, can grant people different grant access to different features of a smart contract. So it has more use cases. It has been there for on the Open Zeppelin for quite some time, and I think as more and more access control is needed in smart contract, it's time for us to have a smart contract interface standard for this. So on the high level, we divide this into three parts of the interface. The first is that there's a ACL control core, which has three pieces of it. One is has role, the other one is grant role, and then last one is revoke role. And basically it says we'll check if something is role, has role, and to grant or revoke. There's a specific choice that you can either do grant role, revoke role, or you can do change role with a Boolean of adding or removing a role. And in here, we choose to apply grant role and revoke role in two different aspects, because we think it's important to differentiate these two things. Also, this is what the Open Zeppelin have already gone to use, and it's so that we choose this to have maximum backward compatibility with one popular existing library. But if you happen to see other libraries, we love to hear more about this. Apparently, there is libraries that people have shared in our discussion, and we gave feedback on how, in that case, it will look like. And there is a general IERC ACL interface. It also, in addition to grant role and revoke role, it also defines create, destroyed, and in certain power method, it can set power. And also there is a event of grant and revoke role. On the other hand, we will also have interface that supports checking whether a person has role, can grant, can revoke, and can execute to facilitate the power checking. And the third one is that we also have metadata so that it's easier for people to define and review roles. And this is the current proposal of role-based. Hopefully that becomes the go-to interface. And to make it backward and frontward compatible, we differentiate the core interface and from the general interface, because some of the existing compatible library already have these three interfaces. Of course, they have other events like OpenZeppelin have role granted, role revoked, but without the data. In this case, we choose the piece that we think is most important as required. And then you can implement the general one if you want to be extendable. This is our compromise for supporting the backward compatibility versus make it the full useful in the future as well. So that's the current status of ERC 5982. Feedback is appreciated.
Yes, the structure layered mandatory or not three options. The structure is very good, I think. However, why my question is the implementation is not the same as OpenZeppelin. Do you provide any difference implementation of this specification?
I think so. Let me just double check. I might have already put it somewhere. If not, then I can share it later. Oh, I haven't provided the reference implementation, but I can down the road. Let me do that to make it easier for people to use. I haven't yet, but I think implementation wise, it can be implemented in the same way with OpenZeppelin. It can also be implemented a different way. For example, someone in the discussion thread asked about gas efficiency. So they say soulmate, Soladi, and halfmate uses bitmap for roles. In our case, we can implement. I provide one of the example of how bitmaps look like in authentication, if you want to, and so that to demonstrate this interface can be implemented in different way. And in fact, we can implement it in. I can provide that in reference implementation to show if you use bitmap, maybe you will have less more gas efficiency for a given number of people.
Yeah, of course, you are expert of this area, so this is implementable, absolutely. However, the standardization, the advantage of standardization is the same code is shared between many people. So I appreciate you publish this implementation because I not sure the implementation of create role function, especially.
Oh, you're not sure about create role, the implementation of create roles, right?
Yeah.
I see. So there is different ways to create roles, because the create roles is most useful when you need to define a metadata, for example. If you want to say, hey, we need a minter and we need to be able to describe what minter role does. Or if we want to have a board member, and then we need to define what board member means and in a given URL. Then by create a role, you can set a storage and in the storage, you say, hey, this role exists, right? You can put it a Boolean. Then you can query the row by row names and descriptions in etc. So create row is not very different. I can give a very quick create row reference implementation for what I mean. So here is a reference implementation for create row, right? So we can say storage mapping row. And for example, admin of row, right? And then this is existing row registry. So what we can say is row registry row equals admin of row, right? And then it influence and also store name, description, URI in each its own storage, right? And then when we do metadata row name, we will return the name. Yeah. So this is one of the example of create row.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's not very complicated. It just gives you a way to define it. However, you can also do if you want to, you can also say, hey, in fact, the ENS based row, right? Or NFT based row. So what you can say is that we will define a row and then it will actually mean an NFT. So you will say mint row and then transfer the row being the NFT ID and transfer it to the admin of row mean based on an address or parent ID, parent NFT ID. So there's other ways of doing it.
I see.
So the fact that we want to allow people to do interface standardization is that under the same interface, you can implement it in different way. Yeah.
Thank you.
Cool.
Great.
So I take your feedback. I love to provide a reference implementation, and hopefully I will share the reference implementation soon in an ERC ref. So if people who doesn't know this, and if you are watching this, our conversation here, I will also want to flag for your awareness that we have a ERC ref contracts repository where we will share a reference implementation, and hopefully we can build it to become a collaborative library for sharing your ERC reference implementations. And you can share different reference implementations in a given ERC. It's demonstrating the ERCs are not meant to restrict the implementations. They should be interoperable. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, awesome. So that concludes the sharing of ERC 5982. What's your Cole, do you want to share something about the pull
No,
request?
today I don't prepare any.
Oh, okay. So that's fine. Let me see if let me check your reference implementation. Cole Fujimura, right?
Oh, thank you.
Oh, this one, right? Let me share screen. This one, right?
Yeah.
I see. Okay. Let me take a look, and then I'll give you feedback on this. So you're waiting for people to approve the merge, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So this is the step is that you submit this PR, which is great. You fix all the lint errors, and to make it compliant with the basic requirements for the draft, and then you share the motivation, specification, rationale, backward compatibility, and reference implementations, and then provide a sample code. Yeah, I'll take a deeper look at it, and then hopefully get it merged soon.
Thank you.
Cool. All righty. And that's pretty much the main part of it. Before everything else, I also want to mention there's a new EIP site as a show and tell session. So this EIP site is domain name is eip.info. It is created by Panda Pip, and it looks so much better to my personal opinion, where you can see different things in a more clear way. It's built on WordPress, and then you can have better filtering and searching capabilities. Let's see. Oh, someone needs to add indexing sooner. But I personally feel that this is better. They used to there is a filtering feature. I think they didn't turn on at this moment. But yeah, I think everything else looks much better. And if you want to, feel free to check it out. It's eip.info. Yeah, and given that Tiao is here, there's also an EIPS fund. I think it's also good to create. See, it seems like the EIP fund is pretty sophisticated in website as well. I haven't navigated much in this, and once it's ready, I'm hoping that EIP fund group work group can also come to share this to us. So that's about it. That's everything that I have. Is there anything else that we want to discuss? Well, if not, then we can end earlier. Thanks all for coming, and this is the 6th ERC devs. We look forward to see you next time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Cole. Thank you for staying late, and thank you for coming. Bye.
Bye.